Nope.
Cool. What did you just pop into here?
Huh?
What?
It was a image.
Oh, it's meant for Sean mostly.
Oh, I can't view Discord chat because I have it on, I have the thing on full screen.
Yeah.
What am I doing? What am I doing? This is what I'm doing. Oh, I gotta wait for that. So, I can now. I was unable to actually tag people in my own post on Facebook
Yeah,
now.
did you figure out what was happening with that?
No, it's gotten worse, Courtney. Is when
What?
I shared it, I was previously able to tag people on the post, on my post, not 8-Bit
Yeah.
Adventures post, my post.
Yep.
And I can't do that now.
What?
So I don't know if certain people like have tagged it so that they can't be tagged, and that's causing it to. But like, I don't know who would be doing that. Nobody's told me anything. Like nobody said anything
like
to me.
that's something that you would like yeah, like if people were tagging and I didn't like them tagging me in something, like that would be a quick conversation of please don't tag me anymore.
Yeah. And it's not people that I haven't talked to in the past week, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, that's weird.
So we'll see. And I'm still 5 people short. I need 5 more people. And then we can all have custom emotes. Which
Now, do you have to design those custom emotes?
Yeah, but that's the best part. Is it's not I have to it's I get to design my custom emotes.
Design them. Yeah.
Most people pay for them. And like most things, I would be like, why would I pay for something that I would gladly do myself?
Yeah. Yep.
So
I don't know. Today's got me all wonky. Because I had to stay late at work this morning.
Ooh.
And then, oh yeah, wasn't planning on it either. And then
tornado.
Yeah.
That was great.
There was legitimately a point where after I went to bed, I woke up at one point and I heard it was raining, and I legitimately just went, nope, not doing it, and went right back to bed.
Yep.
So I may or may not have slept until like 5:30.
Yeah. I mean, it's also we got a tornado warning, but it should have been a tornado watch because there was no actual tornado sighted.
Yeah.
Which that's what the differentiation between watch and warning is supposed to be. And it was just, oh, this storm is likely to produce a tornado. And it's like, great, that's a watch.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody in the Eagle building freaking panic because you put out a tornado warning for Pittsfield, Massachusetts. And therefore sent the whole building into a panic.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw a severe weather warning.
And it was because it was from the National Weather Service, and everybody's phones went off at the same time in the building.
Oh, I didn't have my phone go off.
I don't know.
That's interesting. Because my phone didn't go off, because I got 4 freaking phone calls today. And none of them were important, because I did check my messages. But, yeah. No, I didn't get my phone didn't freak out. Interesting. But yeah, oh, and then I get called into work early tonight, so I have to be to work for 10.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be done by 9. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm not worried about that.
So yeah.
And I got a new game.
Oh.
That I've been playing, and then I put it in the notes when I updated what I did. Yeah, it's very Professor Latham mystery style, but like you have a place to go and it tells you this is where you go.
Yeah.
but it also has a puzzle aspect where it's kind of like it's kind of like Candy Crush, where you gotta like match stuff together,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like you pick this one and it goes to the top, and like that's how you match stuff. And with that, like each of the colors is actually represents something, and it's using your words, quote unquote, um, to talk to these different people. And the best part, it just shows how much of a Japanese game it is as you progress in the levels, that to like win the conversation, basically. The girl that you're fighting against, her clothing starts to disappear. Yep,
Oof.
yep,
It's one of those dating sim games.
yeah.
Okay.
No, it's no. Oh, it's not. No, it isn't a dating sim. No, it's a mystery. It's a
A
mystery
mystery
one.
of who you're gonna date.
No, it's you have to figure out these mysteries around this school. Like one is there's like this uh curse that is a ghost lives in the clock tower of the school, and you have to try and figure out like what it really is. The first mission is there's a white wolf um in the woods behind the school, and it's rumored that if you pet the white wolf, then your luck will like exponentially increase, and like you'll do better in school and stuff like that. But if you try and pet the wolf, it'll bite you. And like it's like figuring out these folk tales of this around that are surrounded around this school. It's kind of fun. I'm really enjoying it. I got like 3-4 hours in last night at work because I just kind of just kept going. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It totally looks like that it's somebody that I was trying to tag, because I just tried tagging a very smaller group of people now,
Yeah.
and that went through.
Maybe it was the amount of people you were trying to tag.
I don't know, because I've been trying to change it up,
Yeah.
you know, and it's been like a different group every time. So
I don't know. Yeah.
nice. Or maybe Facebook could just keep the same amount of reach and just send posts out to everybody that likes a page. What a novel concept.
That's why you have to push follow.
What?
That's why you have to remind our people who like the page to like and subscribe, basically.
Well, not necessarily. It's just
because you have to go on the page, though. They have to make sure that they are following, because you're not automatically following if you like the page.
okay. Well, number one, that's freaking stupid, because it used to be that it auto subscribed everybody.
Yeah, and then a couple years ago,
Facebook just needs to freaking die in a fire.
No, they just need to
much.
They just need to stop messing with the preferences that people like.
The world would be a better place without Facebook.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I work in ad ops. The world would be a better place without Facebook.
But now that we have it, something else would replace it.
MySpace. Bring back MySpace.
Bring back MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace never had advertising, and that's probably why it died.
I liked MySpace better. When they were both out at the same time, I preferred MySpace to Facebook.
I
started on MySpace.
Facebook used to be better when it was about profiles and less about essentially ads and the news feed.
Yeah.
I got on it right when it first, like really early, like 2004 or whenever.
Because the news feed just used to be posting everybody's status updates.
Yeah.
That's why prior to a certain time period, you see everybody has like is blah 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 like doing a thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it would just put your name and then it would post like an AOL like an AIM status update.
Yeah, it was like because there's a lot of statuses that I have from high school that are like, yeah, Courtney ''S, and it starts with that. and then like keeps going, and it's like, oh right, that's before Facebook changed.
Yeah.
There was probably a time where I was using AIM, Facebook, and MySpace all at once.
100%.
2004, 2005 area. I'm thinking all three of those overlapped.
I didn't have good enough internet at home for a while.
There was no cell phones weren't really a thing. They
Correct.
were there, but it wasn't.
They
like,
were there, but like
instead of texting, you used AIM.
Yep.
Texting replaced.
I understand that. I just didn't use it that much because we didn't have really good internet access at home. So. Yeah.
I'm getting kind of a breathing noise, ambient breathing noise from somebody.
Let's look and see. I don't think it's me because I have my sensitivity.
I don't hear it anymore.
No. I just kind of breathed hard into mine and it didn't pick it up.
Okay.
So it might have been me, and just moving up my mic a little helped.
I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it again. I know I'm not.
I'm not even breathing.
Yeah. Welcome to the podcast where none of us breathe. Woo! That's the latest challenge, I guess.
Well, I know what's the greatest thing? DoorDash is the greatest thing.
Is it?
Yeah, I had him deliver Hot Harry's. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the middle of my TFT game, though, so I had to sprint to the door, tip the guy, and sprint back.
Isn't DoorDash like when you used to like ring the doorbell and like leave something, like leave, I don't know.
That's
like
Ding Dong Ditch.
Oh, that's Ding Dong Ditch. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, hello everyone. Hello, all you viewers and folks watching right now. Welcome to our pre-show, and we are going to get started momentarily. So, any final thoughts before we kick things off on the show?
Why are all Japanese games about high school?
I don't know.
That's an excellent question. Or at least about high school age kids.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm really looking forward to the new Fire Emblem that comes out next week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Except that it's basically Fire Emblem High School. It's Fire Emblem Persona.
Except you're the teacher.
Yeah, well, okay, great. And you got to pick which class you want to teach. I know. I've already been looking into which one I'm going to pick.
They should have had it based around middle schoolers, and then you could just be. It's called Fire Emblem Josh York.
It's just me. It's just my life, or was my life. Yeah. Ugh.
Now I kind of want to make a Fire Emblem parody. That would be like Fire Emblem Josh York, and the whole thing would don't let your memes be dreams.
Oh goodness.
My whiteboard was just full of memes and Street Fighter drawings.
And it's you have to amass students to make your TFT team.
You never ever seen? I would post pictures of my drawings on my white. Half of my whiteboard was like my art side.
Yeah, I
and
remember you posting that.
My lessons side.
Yeah. Yeah, you had the art side, and then you had the art side.
And then when they moved me to the library for like 4 months, I had a flip over whiteboard. So one side was my art side, the other side was my teaching side.
Yeah.
That's how I spent a lot of my prep periods, drawing on my whiteboard.
Yeah.
So that's totally what you're supposed to be using it for.
I came in early and did my prep before school even started.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get started.
Yeah.
You could say, let's get down to business.
To defeat the Huns?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
To defeat the Hans. So, all right. Going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up on episode 149, Courtney's prediction came true. Some old favorites in Monster Hunter World Iceborne, Thor 4 news, and much, much more on the 8-Bit Adventures podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 8-Bit Adventures Podcast. We're bringing you the latest and greatest geeky news of, I guess, the past 2 weeks. Because we're coming back from a break. I am your host, Sean Hayes, and with me are my wonderful co-hosts, Courtney Bolin.
Hey, everybody.
And Josh York.
I don't know. I didn't.
Got nothing?
I don't have a.
You don't have anything this week?
Today. No, my mind's too full of thinking about what's going to happen in my D&D game on Saturday.
I can't wait. I love it. I love the chaos that I have wrought.
Yeah, it's actually.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all your fault, Sean.
It's good. Like I keep saying, I get to do kind of whatever I want now.
I've been listening to remixes of the Chrono Trigger soundtrack on repeat. Like Memories of Green, I can't stop listening to it.
Yeah, I don't know. This next part is a bit Final Fantasy inspired, a bit Neon Genesis and Evangelion inspired, a bit.
So Chrono Trigger.
Definitely. It's, like I said, and I can just mishmash all the stuff I love together.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to move towards my digital tabletop. I may have it set for Saturday because Prime Day the other day.
Yep.
I bought a little laptop. One because I wanted to run my Spotify off that rather than my phone.
Yeah.
Which I always have to. And I can, if I get a TV, another flat screen, I can hook that up and start doing digital maps, which in theory should be easier, but I've spent a lot of time this week looking at maps and trying to make maps, and I don't know if it might be more time. It might end up being more time consuming.
The problem is I would offer my services.
Well, what I want is animated maps. I want maps that have, are animated and dynamic and look like you see the wind blowing and the trees and stuff.
Oh yeah,
which exists. It exists. It's just there's not a lot of it out yet. Things are definitely moving in that direction for sure. It's just there's only a few people or websites doing it right now. But it'll be really cool.
Yeah. Sounds it.
Yeah, So I didn't have time to have an opening deck today.
If you haven't checked it out, there is a subreddit specifically for maps like that.
Yeah.
I'll have to find it. It occasionally gets recommended to me because of the subreddits that I follow.
There's Dynamic Dungeons and DMGE, which is like Dynamic Map Something Engine, generating engine.
Yeah.
But those are the two primary ones I found.
Nice.
There'll be more. Give it a couple years. It's going to be the next big thing for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right. Getting into the news this week. The big thing is Courtney's prediction actually came true. It just wasn't at E3.
No retroactive points for you.
Well, even if that were the case, it still wouldn't have been enough to overtake your 2 full points. But so yes, Nintendo announced the Nintendo Switch Lite, which is a handheld-only Switch SKU that's going to release on September 20th. Joy-Cons are not detachable.
Yep.
They're built in. It has a directional pad instead of the directional buttons. And looks like it has extended battery life.
Yeah.
It's a new DS.
Kind of. It doesn't have dual screens.
I know.
It doesn't.
And it also doesn't dock with the TV.
Yeah, there's no docking.
So it is literally handheld only.
Yeah, it's because Pokemon.
You can use other Joy-Cons with it, but obviously it doesn't come with them.
Yeah.
It also doesn't have a stand for tabletop mode. So
no stand, eh?
No stand.
No.
I was waiting for it. And $200.
That's pretty good.
So
I mean, I've seen some people getting a little bit mad at you're not going to be able to play certain games, and it's that's what they said in the video. You have to make sure that the game that you're wanting to play,
bro, this is made for Pokemon.
Accepts first. Well, no, I mean, I play in handheld mode pretty.
I do too, but I think this is specifically aimed at Pokemon. Once Pokemon come out this fall, right?
Yeah.
And Pokemon's traditionally a handheld title only.
Yep.
like the mainline series. So
Um,
like this is like
I think it's just something
I
just to
think-
diversify their SKUs a little bit.
I think a
Yeah.
bit of both. I think it's particularly aimed at that market
Yeah.
of people who just want the handheld only aspect
I think
of it.
I think it's the people that are like me that are only playing on handheld, and it's like, oh well, I want to be able to just play on handheld, but why do I need to spend $300 on a new system, and it has all of this stuff that you can loot? No, it's a singular system. It's all together. Like,
Here's kind of the problem with it though, is it still
Yeah.
uses the Switch branding. It doesn't actually switch.
yeah,
It's handheld only. It doesn't do the whole thing with Switch is it does the whole clicking. Doesn't do that because Joy-Cons aren't detachable. So like all of the branding that they have going into it and all the marketing that they have going into the Switch brand
yeah.
doesn't actually apply to this thing.
Should've
So
called
like
it
they
Switch U.
no.
No.
And now of course it's turning into a meme of it's the light Switch now.
Ooh, I like that. I
Yeah.
hadn't heard that yet.
Additionally, Nintendo tried to sneak this by is so the rumors of like the Switch Pro, basically what that means is Nintendo filed a they essentially put a filing in with the FCC. I think it was the FCC. To basically do like a minor tweak to the existing regular Switch model. But it's not enough to warrant like having to get it recertified and reclassified and everything. So people were starting to theorize, oh, this may be what people were thinking about when we heard about a Switch Pro. And it looks like they made an announcement is to basically like kind of update the Tegra chip, which really gives like a very minor performance upgrade, but mostly gets you like an extra 2 hours of battery life.
Yes.
So for those of us that already have a Switch, definitely won't really be enough to warrant like going out and buying a new one. If you want to trade in an existing one, maybe, but you won't get full price for trading it in. So,
No, because unless they're doing a really good deal, and they won't do it for that.
yeah. And basically, it would be trading a Switch for a Switch to get extra battery life. Which I mean, for those of you that exclusively play in
Just
undocked mode, maybe. I mean, it gives you.
Just get an extra battery pack. Yeah.
I mean, you could do that.
That's what I've done.
This is just so instead of the what do they say 2.5 to like 5 hour battery life that you currently get, you'll get 4.5 to 9 hours of battery life.
Yeah.
So, it's a substantial increase, but at the same time, like I'm pretty consistently back and forth, so I don't really get a whole lot out of it. So, I mean, I'm not going to switch it. So, but it's nice to know because I was kind of worried that like they were going to introduce like already, maybe like what is it 3 years in now, maybe even 2.5 years in, already introduce like a pro model, and it's like I feel like that's way too soon in a console life cycle to start introducing. I'm also
I feel like the Lite is a good way to do it because it's the people that have been wanting to get one.
I mean, maybe
it's bringing down the price, but at the same time, it doesn't. As you were saying, it doesn't.
It also doesn't have HD Rumble.
Yeah.
In the Lite.
Or the sensor thing, so you can't play games like 1-2 Switch or really anything that requires you to move.
Do you think this is the end of the DS line?
Well, I mean, Nintendo hasn't. There are no new titles announced for the 3DS, and there haven't been for at least a year.
A while. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I think it's totally done. Nintendo says it's not done, but yeah, it's done. They don't want to say that, so that way people will still continue to buy them.
Luigi's Mansion actually came out within the last year for 3DS.
Dark of the Moon?
No, regular Luigi's Mansion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like the GameCube game?
Yes. Came out for 3DS.
feel like that was a while ago.
It was within the past. I'm pretty sure it was in the past year. It was during my time at GameStop.
I don't know.
So.
I'm looking
Luigi's
this up.
Mansion, not my jam. So.
But like at the same time, though, that's, as you said, the GameCube game. It's not really a new title.
Support.
Yeah.
There's a 3DS game I really want to play, but
okay. So there was a port.
Have it on Switch at some point.
There was a port released in 2018.
Yeah.
In fall of 2018.
Yeah. See?
Not that long ago.
See? I was right.
Okay.
You did it.
So. All right.
But as you said, it's not a new game. It is a port.
No, and the fact that Pokemon moved over to Switch and is not coming back to 3DS. No, 3DS is done. It's done. So, at this point, it's if you want to play games that have come out.
Is your Game Boy?
Yeah.
That's why they have the Lite. If you ask me.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, my own personal feeling is, I mean, if you want the, portability and being able to do the playing on TV function, as well as, having the Joy-Cons and stuff like that. I mean, I do have the disposable income, so obviously since I bought a Switch, I didn't mind paying the extra $100. So there is that. I mean, of note for Pokemon fans, there will be a special Sword and Shield edition of the Switch Lite that comes out in November.
Yes.
So, I'm personally not a fan of how it looks, but it's like white with like pink and blue line art on it.
Usually not big on special edition.
Yeah. Like I said,
consoles.
I got disposable income. I don't have that much disposable income to start buying collector's editions of consoles.
Yeah.
So,
like, I'd like.
I think it's pretty.
A white
I
PS4
like
would be cool. Like, I like the white PS4s.
I mean, I like the images that I've seen of the Sword and Shield Lite, but at the same time, I don't want to downgrade.
oh, Courtney, there
the
is.
Beauty is you don't have to.
Yeah, Courtney, there is zero reason for you,
Yeah.
a Switch owner, that
No, I'm not going to downgrade for pretty. Guess what?
I mean,
I'm sure that I can find a skin.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you get skins and wraps and stuff.
Yeah.
And it
or a
would
case.
do the exact same job.
Yeah. Here's
But
what
I love my yellow Joy-Con.
here's who a Switch Lite would be for. It would be for Switch owners that have families that all want to use a Switch. Maybe like Switch owners that have kids.
Ooh, yeah, kind of like how the gamepad was used on the Wii U. The parent did the pad versus the kids who could be playing.
Will the Switch Lite be able to connect to your Switch for multiplayer?
Yes, from what I've seen.
Like a Bluetooth thing or something? I
don't
know.
Because you'd have to be able to do it for multiplayer for like Smash and stuff. Because they're still advertising that Smash will still be able
basically,
to
I'm just
play.
saying, will it work as a controller for multiplayer games on a normal Switch?
No. It still functions as a separate system. But I mean, you can have multiple Switches, currently connect via multi. So it's like kind of local play, but it's like local wireless
is it like
play.
Old school like console stuff where you have to have like the wire connecting them and stuff?
Or? It connects. So, circa Game Boy Color, when they started to do away with the wire, and you could connect via infrared.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
So it's not that bad, but it is like via local Bluetooth kind of a thing.
Okay, that's
it's not. You don't have to like perfectly line them up, kind of a thing.
Yeah, you want to trade Pokemon? Get out the wire.
Yeah.
Yes, the wire.
But it's basically if I don't know if you're both connected to the same like wireless network.
I was gonna say
I think that's how it
like
works.
how we played Stardew
Yeah.
or multiplayer, where it's local.
Yeah, it just detects if you're both in the same local network.
Yeah.
It's a wireless LAN. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could still do that between a Switch Lite and a Switch, but
Okay.
yeah, you it's not to do any of that GBA connecting to GameCube action. So
Yeah, it's just like if you went to your friend's house with your Switch Lite and you wanted to play Smash, could you just use your Switch Lite as your controller? Probably not.
The way that I've seen
that's actually
it
a good
is-
question.
That's
the way
kind
that
of what I
I've
was asking.
Seen it is how it was like people playing on their Switch Lites, playing Smash together.
Well, are they just doing an online?
That's
Match.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
might
know.
be. So in that video, they might have been doing like a local match.
Yeah.
But so they're each playing on their own system. I would probably think in Josh's example is that you would have to no, because they're integrated Joy-Cons, is that you wouldn't be able to use them as a controller for a separate system.
Yeah, because for Smash you only need
Be cool if you
the
could.
one Joy-Con for controller. So
How the heck do you play anything on one little Joy-Con?
You don't.
How can
I mean-
anybody's hands not like cramp and stiffen and want to fall
My
off when
hands-
you're trying to...
Well, they do.
my hands fit perfectly.
Oh, that's
I
too
have-
small.
You want to see the most classic controller of all time, the PS2 DualShock.
Hey, I've got one of those. I was literally just looking at
best.
my one of those earlier.
Although, if we're talking about Smash specifically, is they have
Perfect.
GameCube controllers that are
controllers.
set up for the Switch.
Yeah.
And they have wired and wireless ones.
Yeah.
If I ever were to actually really fully get into playing that, I would totally get the purple or
The
silver
DualShock 2 is the most
Um,
perfect
GameCube
controller ever
wireless
conceived by
controller.
mankind.
The Switch Pro controller is pretty comfy.
No, it is definitely.
I mean, you also have to consider the N64 controller. It's up there.
Oof. Oof.
Wow, really?
No.
Did you
Here's that.
just?
That controller was great for a
Cow udder.
sword hilt. That's what that controller was for. It's a sword hilt, is what that is.
So many blisters from that
Yeah, from
stupid
going from-
analog on
Yeah.
Mario Party.
Mario Party. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll clip that out. We'll post that tomorrow. But yeah. So and I think this basically upgraded battery switch is coming out soon as well. So
I should have waited. Oh.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
5 hours is plenty of time.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And
5
even
hours
then,
for a
like,
plane ride.
and even then, you can still just plug it in, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not that
That's
big of a deal.
actually what I do a lot when I'm at home and playing. Is I'll go until it gets to 20% or
Back in my day, we got 6 hours of playtime and then had to swap out the 4 AA batteries in the Game Boy
Yeah.
and then replace them with 4 more AA batteries.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, that was.
And that was before
that
we
was
got
half
2
the
hours of
reason why my
playtime.
parents wouldn't let me get one.
Before we got 2 hours of playtime on the Game Gear, and then we had to replace it with 4 C batteries or whatever nonsense it was.
My brother had a Game Gear. Hardest game of all time, Lion King on the Game Gear.
Ah, yes.
And shortly after that, Lion King on Super NES.
Yeah, same thing essentially.
Pretty much.
Although there were differences between the Sega and NES Disney games.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Look up Aladdin. It's a classic one.
I am of the opinion that Lion King was just poorly designed.
Tough
Anyway.
game.
So, next up, Monster Hunter World Iceborne
Yeah.
comes out in September. I
Today.
believe. No, it's not today. It's not today.
Still
But
July.
we've got some more
We
monster
have to get through
announcements.
August.
So, in some of the trailers that they've shown, we have returning monsters, Glavenus, which is big T-Rex-like monster with a sword tail. And what it does is it kind of grinds its tail along the ground to heat it up and then creates like a flaming sword tail that it uses to slash and stab at people.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's awesome.
man.
And then
And
we
a little
also got a
terrifying.
teaser for Brachydios. So this is another brute wyvern, which are big T-Rex-like monsters. This one's unique in that, unlike most brute wyverns and T-Rex-like monsters, it doesn't have tiny little stubby arms. It's got big arms that end in like protrusions that look like big torpedoes. and covered in explosive slime. Its
God.
saliva is this like weird slime substance that when it becomes reactive, like when it becomes reactive from like kinetic energy or something, it then explodes after a certain period of time. So what it does is it coats its hands, for lack of a better word, in this substance, and then proceeds to just pummel things with explosive punches.
Oh.
That sounds great.
Side benefit, this also means that all of the memes featuring Devil Jojo's Bizarre Adventure against Brachydios will now be able to be done in-game, since they will both be in-game now.
Nice.
Perfect.
We also saw there's going to be a dragon-type Odogaron. Odogaron is this fanged wyvern, which is a sort of long, lean, sort of wolf-like lizard monster down in the Rotten Vale. Highly predatorial, territorial, aggressive, kind of looks demonic, so already looks really scary. And now there's going to be an alternate version that uses dragon-type attacks, so a dragon-like breath weapon, and has like an even more sort of sinister vibe to it. We also got there's going to be a thunder-type Anjanath, which Anjanath is another brute wyvern. This one looked kind of like a big old like T-Rex crossed with a vulture. It's the one that like they use in a lot of the promotional material for Monster Hunter World. So it's a big pink T-Rex like monster with like black fur on its back, and then has like a big nose bone that protrudes and allows it to use elemental attacks when it does that. Also has weird sail fins on its back that come out to like, I don't know, generate heat or something. But
Or something.
normally it's fire type and uses like fire attacks. This one will be thunder type, so it will breathe lightning and presumably generate lightning along its sails and whatnot. So this is in addition to all of the cool monsters that they've announced so far. I don't know their names because they're brand new and they're weird names, but I know one of them is like a big giant elk monster. It's like an elk mammoth, snow shark, elk mammoth, and there's a special Legiana, which is a big like four-winged flying wyvern. And there's a new elder dragon that has something to do with all the nonsense that's going on. So yeah. So that comes out just in a couple of months.
I forgot.
Yeah.
What's the name of the weapon to kill the elder dragon?
The Dragonator.
That's right.
It's just the big mechanized spear.
The Dragonator.
Yeah.
That's it.
They call it, and they say like, oh, this is such ancient and wondrous technology, and it's so complicated to make. And it's like, you guys know that it's just like a hydraulic spear, right? That you pull a lever and a spear goes poof, and it like spins. It's like, that's not really complicated.
No.
Like a complicated would be like an energy weapon that you fire, energy missiles at or something. No, this is just a really big spear that retracts.
I thought it was gonna be like some plasma
Nope.
gun or something.
Nope. Just a giant harpoon. Yeah.
Also, just the name, the Dragonator.
The Dragonator. Yeah. Yeah, in previous games, it would be like on the front of a ship. And in that case, like, it might not even be something that like spins out and rotates or whatever. It would just be literally these two big horns at the front of a ship that just go boom and then retract. And it was like, yeah, that's not really like a super weapon for fighting dragons.
Not that helpful.
I mean, you could do the same thing with trees if they're spiky enough,
Yeah.
So, next up, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is out Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I
Should
don't
be
know.
fun.
I'm looking forward to Spyro, but I have to wait until September.
Just
Yeah.
or you could go back in time to, 1998, 1999.
No, I'd
Live-
prefer
live
not
the
to go back to
Spyro dream.
1999. Thank you.
Oh, I would love to go back to
No,
1999. It was the
no.
best.
Courtney's trauma started in 1999, so no thank you.
I mean, you have the Backstreet Boys coming out and Sync, Limp Bizkit, Korn,
Oh jeez.
all the best music in the late 90s.
No, like yes for the good music, but no, I do not want to go back to 1999. That being said,
I just want to live in the 90s forever. That's all.
yeah, who doesn't? It was nice and safe, and
It was still prelude to current Hell World 2019, but
yeah.
Yeah.
in a
Anyway,
child's mind, it was nice.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. I think the big difference is I don't know if kids these days really think it's that nice out. compared to how kids thought the 90s were nice.
No.
Yeah.
It's not.
I think there's too much more information these days.
Yeah.
Different frame of mind, so it's hard for me to see.
This is also true.
But
yeah.
So.
But yeah, no, Spyro comes out at the beginning of September, so I'm excited for that.
So yeah, I'm curious about. I played a Marvel Ultimate Alliance like on PS2 when I was in high school.
It was a while ago.
A long time ago.
It was also out on GameCube.
Yeah. So it's kind of like
I think it was on GameCube.
It's like Marvel Diablo, kind of.
Yeah.
I guess.
Maybe
or
it was
Marvel Gauntlet.
Maybe it was 360.
It's not quite Diablo. There might have been. I think there was a 360 one.
I think I'm thinking of 360.
I mean, this is 3, so there were obviously 2 of them.
Yep. Yeah, we played it. We played it in college.
Main Wolverine, all day.
Yep.
I'm talking about.
You'll have
Bub.
Full roster available of superheroes.
All you need is Wolverine.
I mean, this is true, but you'll have a full roster available
to ignore,
so that if you're playing as all of your friends, you can have a full team of Wolverines.
Yes.
I think you can double up on characters, but I'm not sure.
Number 1. I have no idea.
I do know that if you pick characters with certain thematic elements between them, you'll get bonuses. So like if you pick an all like Spider-Man sort of universe team, like a Spider-Verse team, or if you pick like Avengers or X-Men.
Just the boys.
Yeah. Or, you know, there might be something like like
what about different iterations of the Avengers?
That
Wolverine's an Avenger.
That I'm not sure.
What?
I don't know how they do that.
In the comics, everybody has been in the Avengers at one point or another, pretty much.
Yeah, like Venom's been an Avenger.
Deadpool
has been an Avenger. Yeah.
Wolverine has been a bunch of times.
Yeah. I think X-Force is another one of the sort of teams that you can equip people to.
I'm trying to wrap my head around Wolverine as an Avenger.
Well, I mean, in the comics, he's like...
What's there to think about, bub?
It's kind of a no-brainer in the comics, since he's like one of the main characters in X-Men.
Yeah.
And he's one of the most active characters from X-Men. Let's put it that way. And also, like, he can't age.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Well, just super
kind
slow.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I want the guy on my team who basically can't die.
Yep.
And just murders everything in his path.
Yep.
That's fair.
You just send him out in front and you just walk in leisurely behind him.
Yep. That right there is Deadpool and Wolverine on a team.
Oh, yes.
100%.
Yes.
So.
I'll probably play some... Is Deadpool in it? I'll play Deadpool too, probably.
Yeah, they have a huge roster. So
I haven't even looked. I've kind of kept myself in the dark about it up until this week.
Yeah.
Just because I kind of want to be surprised and figure it out as I play it. But
maybe
then next week is Fire Emblem, so
yeah.
That's going to be a big time investment. I've given up on Tales of Vesperia, by the way.
Oh no!
It's too anime. I'll get into it in
what
we've been playing, but
So, and then in other Marvel news, this one's not gaming news, but Taika Waititi is now set to write and direct Thor 4.
Was he supposed to do Akira?
Yes.
I want Akira.
This will push back the development of Akira. Warner Brothers is kind of panicking about it.
Yeah.
Tetsuo!
Yeah.
Tetsuo!
Yeah. He's still set to do both. Well, there's also been apparently a bunch of other delays on Akira, but this certainly does not help. And yeah, following this news, Akira was kind of pushed back.
Ugh.
But it means we get more funny Thor.
Yeah, more Korg and Meek?
Probably. I would assume so, since he also plays Korg.
Yes. Yes. More of them, please.
What's Thor gonna do?
Well, the only thing that I don't know is if this takes place before or after Guardians 3. Because that'll be relevant.
Yeah.
Go Jane Foster Thor. She was pretty rad in the comics. Just cooler than regular Thor.
And Marvel, you can hire my friend Bennett. Since
you know what, we've had
since
this.
She actually looks like Jane Foster Thor.
I remember having this conversation.
Yes.
Mentioning that.
Yeah, she has an amazing Thor cosplay. And has actually done a bunch of photo shoots with I can't remember the name. There is basically a little girl that does like semi-professional cosplay, and has a really adorable like full Thor outfit, and the two of them were doing like joint photo shoots together.
Oh, that's precious.
Yeah.
And see, like, what the heck's this Thor story even gonna be? Like, what?
Yeah.
Where do you go? Like, what's the next step for the MCU? What do you do after Thanos?
Well, I mean, we kind of know.
Hear me out.
The obvious next step is Galactus.
But they kind of already did it.
Did they?
Did they?
Did they?
Unclear at this point.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe. Hear me out. So Guardians 3, whole point of Guardians 3 is to kind of reform relationships with the team and everything, because they've now got new stuff going on. So Thor just kind of goes out, hangs out with them, kind of a thing. For Thor 4, he comes back, and then it's just Big Thorbowski. That's the movie. That's the movie. It's not an actual like epic superhero film. It's basically like him and Korg and Mick just hanging out and going bowling and doing random stuff, playing Fortnite.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Just thinking it through.
That's the movie I want to see.
They've got... Disney has Fantastic Four now, right?
They do.
Yeah.
So, Doom. Doom is your big bad, probably.
For a moment, I thought you were talking about like the video game and movie franchise Doom. And I was like,
Doom
okay.
with the Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
Oh. Speaking of which, all right, this is total aside.
Perfect. I love it.
Star Trek. I've been trying to finish up Star Trek Voyager.
The Rock is in Star Trek.
The Rock is in an episode of Star Trek Voyager.
I just made that up. I didn't even know that.
I was like,
What?
No way. It's in an episode where they have shore leave and they're going to see basically MMA fighting as the entertainment. And it's like they have, these big like targets on them and everything. And it's all about like, basically wailing on the enemy target and protecting your own. And then the whole plot twist is some members of the crew get kidnapped and then essentially, like a la Thor Ragnarok, kidnapped and then press ganged into as gladiators kind of a thing.
Oh, very, very Ragnarok.
Very much. I mean, it's a very common trope.
It's a trope.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Every D&D game.
Pretty much.
D&D campaign has that.
Pretty much ever, yeah.
But the first fight that, so 7 of 9, the sort of rescued Borg person is one of the people that gets kidnapped, and she's the one that gets press ganged into gladiator service. And her first fight, this guy comes out and he's massive, and they're like, oh, you know, they're this guy's like an undefeated champion kind of thing or whatever. And it's the right, he like turns his face and I'm like, it's Dwayne Johnson, and he does the people's eyebrow in the episode.
Yes!
He's just like to the crowd, and the crowd's going nuts and everything. And I'm just like, what timeline do we live in when The Rock was on an episode of Star Trek, but just being The Rock? And I was like, oh, this is so great. That's fantastic.
Which Star Trek was this?
Voyager.
When was Voyager out?
Voyager was, I feel like it was after Deep Space Nine.
I don't know very much about Star Trek.
And I think it was basically, it ended like early 2000s.
Okay, so that would have lined up when The Rock was like super, super popular in WWF.
Yeah. Let's see, 1995 to 2001. That is primetime Rock.
Yep.
Yeah, it would have been like 97, 98, 99, 2000 was like the Attitude Era for WWF. Stone Cold, The Rock.
Yep. It is the 15th episode of the 6th season. The original air date, February 9th, 2000.
Lines up.
Yep.
The math works. That's funny.
Yep.
I would not have imagined that, but hey, why the heck not?
The crossover between the Voyager and the UPN wrestling show SmackDown was described as a clever marketing ploy, but received negative fan reaction on the broadcast.
Ooh.
What?
However, it received the highest ratings of the season, having been watched by 4.1% of all Nielsen households during Sweeps Month. The fight scenes were praised by Black Belt Magazine. It's like, you know what? Nowadays, no, having The Rock in it, that makes it a great episode. Maybe people at the time were like, oh, this is contrived and everything or whatever. And it's like, these days, no.
In the year 2000, nobody was thinking Dwayne The Rock Johnson was going to be a mega Hollywood star.
I certainly didn't realize that. No.
I was also 16.
Yeah.
So I was not knowing what was going on.
There was no way we could have known that he would become a demigod. and other various mythical creatures, yeah. Ooh, well, we don't talk about Scorpion King. Ooh.
Oh, what do you mean? It's the best.
Now, are we talking about the second Mummy movie, or are we talking about the spin-off movie, The Scorpion King?
I don't remember any of them. I remember they existed. I've probably watched them. I don't remember anything.
So the second Mummy movie, so it was like weird in which, so he was the Scorpion King, and it was supposed to have been, I guess it was supposed to be like an Easter egg to tease the fact that there's this spin-off movie coming out later. But he was basically this big like centaur scorpion thing with really bad CGI.
I've seen this bad CGI.
Yeah. But then
I read an article or something where they some guy fixed it and made it look decent.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then the spin-off movie of the Scorpion King is just like, it's like Conan the Barbarian. Except in Egypt.
So awesome.
Except not awesome. Yeah. It's like a bad Conan the Barbarian. Yeah.
Impossible.
Which is sad because The Rock deserves to have a good movie like that. I think The Rock could be in a good D&D movie.
Oh, absolutely.
He would be an amazing.
Him,
he would
be Crews, Vin Diesel, like get
Terry
all
Crews.
of these.
Now Terry Crews would take me right out of it. I couldn't.
Really?
Nope. Yep. He's a very specific type of character in my mind.
Terry Crews needs to be in the Overwatch movie as Doomfist.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel already was. He was basically a rogue in Pitch Black and Riddick.
Well, it's also
he was a mystic rogue, basically.
Well, it's also he was in a movie about his D&D character.
Oh yeah,
that's like the Witch Hunter or whatever.
Hunter.
Yeah. That's so
right.
He's already done it, and it was not. Well, it did not do well.
I think Joe I don't know how to say his last name. Manganiello.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Manganiello. He said he's written a D&D script. He's like, got it.
I would believe it.
He's like, I think saw an interview where he's like, yeah, I've got it locked and loaded, ready to go, basically.
Yeah. He would be another good actor for a D&D film.
Yeah.
Here's what they need to do. Like a
Get Marlon Wayans. Get Marlon Wayans back. He was in that one D&D movie.
Yeah. The sad part is like you somehow they went wrong with having Jeremy Irons as the villain, and that takes talent. That takes talent to make a bad movie with Jeremy Irons as the villain.
Jeremy Irons was also in Aragon, which was also awful.
Was he the villain?
I don't think so. I didn't watch it.
I mean,
reading Aragon a lot.
I can't say if he's not a villain, then I can't speak to the quality. But like, if he's a villain, I mean, like, come on, it's like you're already getting like 3 legs up.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be really bad in order to bring that movie down from that. Which that movie was. That movie was awful.
Yeah, I've seen that bits and pieces of it a couple times, and it just is not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have many words for it.
Yeah. So.
And then there was like a direct-to-DVD sequel.
Yep. Yep.
That
it was like Curse of the Dracolich or something.
I don't know. I just know it exists.
I watched exactly like 3 minutes of that movie, and during that time there were dark mantles. Those weird, weird underdark octopi that mask themselves as stalactites to then drop on top of people.
Should do like a Drizzt. They should do a Drizzt movie because those are the most popular books.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like the Dark Elf trilogy, or one of the Dark Elf stories for Drizzt.
I know a lot of people are like Dragonlance. Would love to see a Dragonlance movie, which I think it would be tough. Personally, I think there's too much. You'd have to decide a very specific story arc to do, and you would have to make sure, like, because I think people want too much to be pulled in, and I think you have to keep it very specific, and you have to keep it general enough.
When I think of Dragonlance, I just think of like Dio music blasting, dragons, like the most 80s power metal thing imaginable.
I mean, you're not wrong. They would have to, and I think you would have to do Dragonlance as an animated film. I think that would be the best way to do it.
Dragonlance is an anime.
I think that would be a great way to do it. And whoever does that would have to get Liam O'Brien.
Yes.
Or else they will be murdered in their sleep.
Yes.
When I was in Connecticut like a month and a half ago, I stopped at the game store, and like they had this whole section of books. They had all the Dragonlance books.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they were used or if he just had them or what, but I was like, man, I was looking for the ones I read when I was a kid.
That place is called My Bookshelf.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep.
So
Connecticut.
That pretty much is going to wrap up the news for this week.
Yeah.
There's a couple big things that we want to talk about. There's some other stuff that could have counted as news for this week, but we're going to talk more in Questlog about it. So
yeah.
But first, we're going to talk about what's going on with 8-Bit Adventures. All right. So first up, big thing is if you don't already follow this channel on Twitch and you enjoy our content and enjoy the streams and everything, be sure to follow. I'm only 5 short for affiliate, and I would love to give you all custom emotes.
Yes.
So let's get it done. Tell your friends.
Emotes.
So yeah, on the 8-Bit Game Night stream, played some Moonlighter. That game's really fun. It's like everything I enjoy and everything Josh hates.
Hey, I said at least you get to fight things in that game.
You do, yeah. I mean, let's put it this way. So it's like half shop management and half dungeon crawling. But like, if you don't go dungeon crawling, you have nothing to sell. So like, you must, in fact, go out and kill things. And yeah, it's just, I really enjoy it. And it does have, like, it says that it's a roguelite or like roguelike. The only thing that I see in that is that if you die in a dungeon, you can just say, oh, let me just rerun this dungeon. and it'll just take you back to the beginning, and you get to keep a certain number of items that are like on your person instead of in your bag. But otherwise,
procedurally generated.
The dungeons are procedurally generated.
So that's a roguelite.
Yeah,
it's got 2 of the things. So
Yeah.
And then you can either decide to sell stuff in your shop, or you can take those materials and like bring them to the smith to upgrade your equipment to become a better hero. The only catch is that stuff also costs money, and you need to sell stuff in order to get the money to upgrade your equipment. So it's a lot of like different things like that. People will come in and be like, because you also set the prices in your shop. So you have to try and set the price, and people will tell you like, oh, hey, this is a good price, or like, oh my God, this is a great, amazing price. I'm going to totally buy this. Which you're like, oh man, I undervalued that. Oh no. Or people will say like, oh, I'm unhappy about this. This is not a good price, and they won't buy it. So in that case, you have to kind of adjust them. And you have like a little notebook where it saves whatever the differing price levels are. So yeah, it's definitely a sense of panic ensues when people start going like, oh my God, this is the best price ever. And you're like, oh no, I could be getting 3 times as much for this. And you're like scrambling to go. Burglars will also show up in your shop. So basically you have to like go wait for them to try and like steal something, and then you beat them up and then kick them out, and you get the thing back. Yeah. It actually becomes very hectic because like it's people are buying stuff, and then you have to like go, actually wait at the cash register to sell them the thing, and then you have to go restock stuff, go catch a burglar, go back, restock this other thing, go wait.
What is this, Diner Dash for?
Kind of. It's kind of got a little bit of Diner Dash in there.
Like that totally sounds like Diner Dash. Like, oh,
yeah.
you gotta do all these other little micro things, and it's like, seriously?
And it's or I mean, if people just wipe out your inventory, you can decide like, well, I'm done for the day. Close up. All right, time to go fight stuff in the dungeons. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I really dig it. It's got a neat art style too. I was just mad because I thought, because the main character has white hair, that the main character was older and like was an established person that was like, basically in retirement or whatever. And that was like, I gotta go in the dungeons and get all this stuff. Back in my day, we didn't have to do this. And it turns out, no, you're just a young guy with white hair, which was less interesting to me. So
you're Percy.
Yeah. I have also been working on some commissions in the 8-bit art stream.
Yeah.
So those should be wrapped. So the particular one that I'm working on should be wrapped up pretty soon. I'm going to try and wrap it up off stream and then work on some new stuff on the next art stream, which is in 2 weeks. So yeah. As far as podcasts go, Berkshire Bites. We talked about the old forge.
Woo.
Hey.
And the day we went and lost power.
Yeah.
So that's great. Be sure to give that a listen. Berkshire Bites. And then Tales of Jamora. We finally had another session. And what a session it was.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah. We are doing. I was not wrong when I made the Facebook post sharing that, hey guys, we're going to be on, of come watch me do stupid stuff as May. Because, yeah.
Actually, I would have to say that I don't think anybody actually did anything that stupid.
No, actually, not this past week.
I think that was actually possibly one of our sessions in which everything was most intelligently done. Assuming characters were acting in concert with their personalities.
Yeah, I wouldn't say what Jacobin's actions were intelligent.
I think they were tactically sound.
I don't think they were wrong either.
No. No.
Yeah.
It is Jacobin, so,
Yeah.
Jacobin is definitely peeved that nobody else was, like, in on it with him.
Yep.
Like, had everyone just gone in, we would have got everything. We would have got it all. We got the book and the chest. And we got rid of an annoying angel. An evil annoying angel.
Not evil.
Yeah.
Nope.
So evil.
Nope.
clearly.
Nope.
No.
And they found another orb. I love making these cursed orbs. It's so great.
You're like, great.
But that one is actually like it's a powerful effect, and then it has a powerful drawback too.
Yeah.
But it is the least punishing of the drawbacks.
Yeah, and that's pretty punishing for the person who has it.
It is. Just wait till you guys find the other ones. Ooh,
I don't want
boy.
to find the other ones.
I'm not touching them.
I just want to fight the stupid boss and leave.
Okay.
I'm not touching them.
So, yeah. And then 8-Bit Adventures 3.6. So,
Yeah.
delving a little bit more into kind of what's been going on in Buccaneers Bay with this spooky, scary skeleton.
I just love how the spooky, scary skeleton is like, I've been awakened, and he's just like, yeah, we're not PCs.
To clarify, because there is no speech balloon tail, it's not the skeleton saying that stuff, it's the sword.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how you could tell. Is there would be a speech balloon tail coming from the skeleton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But still, it's like the spooky, and it's like, yeah, no. No.
That release, however, is totally coming from the eyeball in its palm. Yeah. Krakatoa.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because why not? Let's just combine all of my different game worlds. Let's do it.
No.
Let's just turn the Kraken and Tales of Jamora into a magma Kraken. Why not?
Hey, all you need to do is have somebody mess up your game, and you get to create a Terran all reality and do whatever you want.
Yep.
So.
Oh, thankfully, the plans that I have for Jamora are full escalation, which has already been alluded to with when you guys not this past session but the session before, there was some allusion to events happening as a reaction to the Kraken being out oot and a boot, as they say,
in other countries.
Yes. So. That wraps up what's been going on in 8-Bit Adventures. Remember to follow this channel. So,
do it.
Now, let's move on to Questlog.
Yeah.
Questlog is where we talk about what we've been playing.
Yay!
So,
Yes.
Josh, would you like to go first this time?
Yeah, easy. Teamfight Tactics.
Yep.
New patch came out today. Ranked mode is out now.
Nice.
Buffs and nerfs all over the place.
Yep.
Because it was basically in beta up until now.
Oh yeah. And they just said, hey, let's get this out and see what's going on.
Yeah.
And see what happens when people do things.
Yeah. So that I've been watching. There's a tournament on Twitch going on for it today. I've been watching to try to get an idea of, so I can improve my play, seeing what people who are actually good are doing. So I can try to somewhat emulate that. I gave up on Tales of Vesperia on the Switch. I can't. It's too, I want to say anime, but that's not even it. It's just too simple. The story's so simple and boring, and the dialogue is so childish, I guess.
What?
I can't. It's just so boring. I tried to pick it up a few times. I couldn't play for more than a half hour before I was just bored to tears of it. I was like, this is just the most boring game. I can't anymore. So I will say, game looks really nice. It's a nice HD upgrade of it. I really like how it looks. It plays all right. Just the story is super boring. The characters are pretty boring.
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't do it for me. There's no gear. You just there's no mechs. You don't fight God. At least not where I was. I mean, it's just there's no like.
It's pretty simple and
there's
and
no
pretty
Nietzsche quote.
straightforward.
There's no like pseudo philosophy and weird religious
iconography
analogs.
and,
I mean, there is, but not to the extent that. No, it's just
not
the
to
story
the
doesn't
extent
do
that
it for me.
you like.
like for you, how Final Fantasy IX just didn't do it for you. Like this game just not doing it for me. And I gave it a fair shot. I put 20 hours at least in the
Hey,
game.
yeah, that's
Yep.
absolutely
So
a fair shot.
I keep glancing at Octopath,
Yeah.
thinking I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
But there's too much coming out. Marvel's coming out Friday.
Yeah.
And then Fire Emblem next week, which is gonna be
You know
all
what?
of my time until the end of the summer, basically.
Octopath isn't going anywhere.
Nope.
That's true.
It'll still be there during the lull period of November when it's Pokemon.
Yeah, but there's Demon Chains, whatever.
Well, so in September,
Astral Chains comes out at the end of August or beginning of September. And then Demon Ex Machina.
Yeah, Astral Chain and then Demon Ex Machina. Yeah, you've got those like back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't even been paying attention to what's coming out on the Final Fantasy VIII remaster is going to be out at some point, probably in the fall.
Yeah.
I'm unemployed, so I've got time, but it's just.
Yep.
I'm doing my like week-long Appalachian hike at the beginning of August, so that's a week I'm not going to be playing any games at all or doing anything.
Yep.
Really. So, but it's something I want to do, but it's just like, there's a lot. It's too many games.
Yeah.
Too little time. I'm sure I'll still be wanting to play TFT and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. You know what I did try out this week on my phone? A mobile game, a D&D mobile game called Warriors of Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's been on
It's meh. It's
okay.
It's a mobile game.
Yeah.
Like you get your heroes and you go through little dungeons and then eventually you get to a point where you can't progress without paying actual money to upgrade your stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unless you like want to super grind mega slowly.
Nope.
So at first, like the progress was like, okay, this feels good. And I don't feel like I need to spend actual money. Then I got to a point where I was just like hit a wall. I was like, I can't do anything.
Yeah, you hit the paywall.
Anymore. I was like, this kind of stinks.
Yeah.
It was a good while it lasted, it was a good game for when you're on the toilet. That
Sure.
and my other toilet activity, just so everyone knows, is doing my Duolingo Spanish lessons. That's where I do my Duolingo lessons.
Okay.
So the owl doesn't come into your house and kill you. Got it.
No, I'm on it. I got my streak a lot every morning when I wake up. Little
I know
glimpse
a little
into
bit
my
more about it than I ever wanted to.
So Courtney,
very regular.
Yes.
Courtney, what have you been up to?
So lots more Stardew. Kind of per usual. That's kind of my default back to it.
Yeah.
But I've also been getting in a good amount of Pokemon Let's Go. And then I got a new game yesterday, and I played a few hours on it last night at work. It's Kotodama, The Seven Mysteries of Fujisawa.
Gesundheit.
It is. Yeah, so it's part visual novel, part puzzle game.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna like read the description from GameStop because that's a lot better than I could ever describe it. So investigate the secrets of Fujisawa Academy across 7 chapters of this visual novel, where each chapter hides the truth to each of the 7 mysteries. Battle key characters using Kotodama, the power of words. Interrogation battles see you stripping your target naked to expose the truth behind the lies. It's not.
It's one of those games.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those games.
Yeah.
It's one of those games on Steam where it's like you have to put your birthday in before you look at the screenshots because it has
no, it's not
not
that.
safe for work content.
I'm pretty sure it's one of those games where I've actually blocked that whole category because I'm like, I really don't want to deal with this.
But it's a really cool little investigation game. The best way that I can describe it is very akin to a Professor Laytham game, where it does have the mystery, and it is very much more of a visual novel that you kind of work your way through, but it does have this little, as I said in pre-show, it's kind of similar to Candy Crush instead of just swapping things, you like move gem thing to the top row, and it makes.
Said it's a visual
combos.
novel, and now you're saying it's a puzzle game.
It's
like a-
both.
Okay.
It's both.
And
So it's
dirty.
just a mishmash.
Yes,
It's
and
just
I kind
dirty.
of like it because of the mismatch. But yeah, it intentionally plays up on those like classic tropes and cliches. But
I know
like,
what Courtney likes
nothing
it.
is as it seems, and so like it's basically figuring out all these different little mysteries surrounding this academy.
It's probably super anime.
It is. It's
Ugh.
super anime. It's so anime,
Ugh.
and I'm absolutely just.
I mean, if that description that Courtney read from GameStop wasn't enough to indicate that. Yeah, no.
Don't get me wrong. I like anime. I just don't like things that are very anime.
like that kind. Me, not that kind of orc.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Another thing, I started watching an anime this week called Vinland Saga. It's actually pretty cool. It's about Vikings.
Mhm.
3 episodes are out. There's not much to describe. It's a Viking anime. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neat.
I actually may start reading the manga too because I like the episodes. But
yeah, no, just for your information though, this game is rated.
Blanked out. I didn't hear it.
Yeah, you blanked out there, Courtney.
Oh, the game is rated T for teen, so it's not one of those mature games. But yeah, it's very anime though, and
so all the fan service is just censored.
Yeah.
With like
stars.
J.J. Abrams,
actually,
like light flare.
It gets down to like a bathing suit. Like you don't see anything less than a bathing suit.
Oh my god. It's like one of those. Yeah, you give them gifts and they get more naked and.
No, that's not how you do it.
It's not one of those.
I hate all of this.
No,
yeah.
It's not like a dating sim.
I hate all of this.
I believe it is, and
No.
you can't change my mind.
So Courtney, you've also been playing a more wholesome game.
Yes, I've been playing much more wholesome games. Go.
You're cutting out again.
Oh, Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee. Been playing that some more.
It's not very wholesome when you're forcing small animals to battle each other to the death.
So here's the thing: you don't actually battle wild Pokemon in Pokemon Let's Go.
Yeah, you just catch them.
You just catch them.
There's no battling.
You battle trainers, but you can often avoid the trainers. It's very battling light, actually.
I'm just gonna avoid this trainer.
Actually, kind of, yeah. You wait for them to turn, you go like when they're not listening or when they're not looking. You just like, yeah, yes, very much. Just close your eyes, just keep walking. But
yeah, this is the game where I have Lady Sif is my little Pikachu pal, and she hangs around with the Mighty Nine.
Yep, and Juniper is my
Is your Eevee?
Yes, Juniper is her name, and I have not yeah,
I've got a Charmander. His name is XXX Sephiroth XXX, and he's really sick. My Squirtle is called Weeb Slayer 69.
Are these Pokemon names, or are these your gamer tags from 15 years ago?
These are totally his old gamer
No,
tag.
my tag has been damn animal since I was like 16.
Are these some of your students' gamer tags?
Hey, there
they might be.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, so I'm loving Pokemon per usual.
How far are you, Courtney? In Let's Go.
I have 3 badges.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you are. That is.
Where's
not
the
familiar. It's
the big huge department store is where I am.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I can't remember if that's Celadon City or Saffron City, but they're like around the same area. So
yeah.
It's one of those things where like
bypass one.
It's like you go to Saffron first, you do a bunch of stuff there, but you can't actually do the gym. So then you have to go to Celadon City, do stuff there, and then you have to go back to Saffron City.
Yep.
And then go fight Sabrina with her psychic Pokemon.
Yes. that's yeah.
So you beat Lieutenant Surge, who's totally not Guile.
Yep.
With a bunch of electric Pokemon.
Go home and be a family man.
No, right now I'm actually grinding it out because I don't have the right type of Pokemon to be able to beat the boss. Or beat the trainer or the gym.
Is the gym psychic type or grass type?
This one is no, the one that I'm going against right up next is psychic type.
Okay, so that's Saffron City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You need to go to Lavender Town, to the creepy Lavender Town, and go get yourself a ghost Pokemon.
I was in Lavender Town.
Yeah.
But I had to go to get the Sylph Scope.
Yep.
Get that
before
Gengar.
I can go back, and yeah, it's.
Oh, you got chased out by Spooky Ghost.
Yes.
Unidentifiable Spooky Ghost.
Yes.
Which is really dead Marowak.
Yes.
Spoilers, people.
Oof.
It follows the same
of a literally 20-year-old plot line.
Yes. Yeah, so that's kind of where I am. Is I'm stuck getting Scope, but
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with what I'm gonna play tonight. But both of those are in my Switch case.
You should play Xenogears.
No.
I like of no, without fail. Every time
quick just shut down.
Every time that I have been on stream playing something, Josh will come in and go, "Wait, this isn't Xenogears," and then just leave.
Just wait till that remaster comes out. The pressure for you guys to play that with me is going to be so high. I will not stop.
The pressure. You're going to peer
When
pressure us.
I'll put Xenoblade Chronicles on there one time. You'll be like, "This isn't Xenogears," and then I'll just keep grinding.
Close enough.
I'll keep grinding until I get Cosmos as a blade, and then I'll just be like, "Look, it's close enough, all right."
A lot of the same themes.
Yeah. Literal character from that game series in this game. So there you go.
Well, Xenosaga isn't Xenogears.
Oh, she's a Xenosaga character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Not a Xenogears. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
Just to correct you on that.
Correction is welcome, as I'm not well versed in this.
She is an android created to fight basically space ghosts.
Great to fight Space Ghost. Oh no, we gotta save his talk show.
Yeah.
Oh no, we must protect him at all costs.
Space Ghost.
She's a minion of Breck.
I loved that show when I was on.
That's a great show.
Yeah.
It definitely.
It still on?
They occasionally will do reruns on Adult Swim, like super late at night.
Always watching that when I was probably in high school. I was probably staying up late watching that.
Yep. So, and then to round things out,
what have you been playing?
I've been playing more of the 8.2 patch in Warcraft. I got my flying achievement, so now I can fly everywhere in the new places.
Nice.
So the funny thing is, once I got flying, it's like, all right, no more playing on main character. Now it's time to level up the alts. Since that makes questing just so much easier.
Need to do you hear about, if you're into this sort of thing, the world first drama going on?
I did hear that on how it was
like
based.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it was. It was like Red Bull wanted to stream it on their Twitch channel or something, and the guild was like, "No, don't."
Something like that.
Yeah.
Also, that they're doing like a world first tournament or whatever for the new raid, and it's something about how people are complaining on how. So people were complaining that the EU had a disadvantage because because NA had it for 24 hours before they could have access to it. And everybody's like, yeah, that's fair.
You guys
that's a fair
6
point.
months vacation a year.
That's a fair point, but the EU wins it every year.
Yeah.
It wins it every time. So you could argue that the
NA getting it 24 hours in advance is finally laying
well, it's almost like a handicap bonus for NA to make sure that they can actually try and compete. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, so I've been playing it. It's fun. I still enjoy it. It's kind of like comfort food. I think I've mentioned this before. Like, I don't necessarily log into Warcraft to see like, game changing stuff and my mind blown and everything. It's like, no, I log on to play my hunter, go around, kill stuff with my pets, fly around.
I want to know what's up with Bwansamdi. What's going on with my boy?
No Bwansamdi. It's
I know,
all Queen Ajara.
I'm so bored of the Naga
and her tentacles of stuff.
Great, awesome.
Wait, what?
Great.
Yeah. Ajara is a triple-tailed Naga, and she turns some of her minions into crab people.
You're right.
Naga. Do you know what a Naga is? Naga are in like WoW.
A little bit.
They're basically like fish snake people.
They were elves.
They were elves.
And then during the Cataclysm, not the expansion. Not the expansion. They were turned into basically, like Medusa, Sahuagin, snake people.
Ashara made a deal with N'Zoth.
Yeah.
Yep. Great.
That's
they're
what
boring.
you need to
They've
know.
been in the game forever, and I think they're boring enemies. I'm sick of them. I hate there's a raid. It's all about them.
I will say, there's actually a fight.
There already been raids with a bunch of them. SSC.
Yeah, Serpentine Cavern. There was the first couple of fights in Black Temple, because Illidan had Naga forces.
I think the very first raid in this expansion, there was a Naga lady you had to fight.
First. That I wouldn't know, because I didn't do it. The Gahoon one, that was the first raid, right?
Or maybe I'm thinking last. Oh, I'm thinking Legion. Sorry, I'm thinking Legion. This was back in Legion. Sorry.
That would make sense.
I think.
I will say, there is a boss fight that I find really interesting in this new raid, where it takes place like deep down in like the abyssal waters. So there's like no light. So you're down in like deep, creepy parts of the ocean, or that's the idea anyway. And there is this big giant eel, and you can't attack it unless you have, So you can attack it, but the water itself like absorbs healing magic, and so you have to give yourself bioluminescence in order to like light the way for healers and stuff like that. The problem is this takes place in like a trench, and if you go across the trench while you have bioluminescence, you gain stacks of like you're being watched by really big, terrifying sea creatures that you can't see down below you. And if you reach a certain stack, they just like lash out and insta kill you. So it's a lot of like stack management, trying to move back and forth and fighting the eel and healing.
Every raid fight in WoW.
I mean, except like imagine everybody having a Mortal Strike debuff.
Just a different. There's only so many mechanics, right? This has been my biggest complaint with like WoW raids for a long time, is they all feel the same to me. Basically, you're just taking the mechanics that exist and just mixing them up in slightly different ways on all the bosses. So it's either like a movement thing, or it's like a debuff management thing, or it's just a tank and spake race, or
I think the problem is that if they try and do something new, it's often met with resistance because of the Flame Leviathan fight in Ulduar, like the first fight, where it's all the vehicles.
The vehicles.
Yeah. Nobody liked that fight.
Because it's tedious.
Well, and that's the problem, right? Is that anytime they try and introduce a new mechanic.
Right, but I mean, introduce a smart new mechanic, not like whatever. You're riding around forever in vehicles.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel like a boss fight until the end. A lot of it you're just running around hitting the pillars or whatever you had to do. But I came in after that raid on that expansion. I came in at Argent Tournament and ICC, so I skipped the first two. I went back and did them kind of whenever we were way like fully ICC geared out and just blew through it for the achievements. But I mean, it's a fight that I've thought about as a D&D boss fight, which seems pretty interesting to me. Just the whole like, if you stray too far out in just the abyss, things are watching you if they can see you.
And if they can see you, they can eat you. So yeah.
If they see you, they can eat you.
And they will eat you. So yeah. As I said, I've been playing Moonlighter. So I have been playing off stream as well. Just really enjoying it. But I already talked about it, so I won't get into too much more about that. And then with Dauntless, started getting back into playing more of that last night because we were kind of at the end of a season. There wasn't really a whole lot much more to do. But new season started. They introduced, so it's all pirate themed now. So again, Josh's favorite. The cosmetics look really good. They introduced a sort of trials mode where you do like super difficult behemoth fights. And then you get like a different kind of currency that you can use to get different cells or different cosmetics or different mods for your weapons. So like you equip them and it changes like your weapon mechanics to different things. So that's a cool addition to it. And yeah, it'll give me, something to grind for. Just like little rewards for just playing the game. But yeah. They did fix some things, a couple of bugs, and they have some stuff that are known issues, like the fact that there is a cell vendor who sells some of the cells that you can equip. You can also craft ones there, which are basically like you take 2 of them of a lower quality and you can make 1 of a higher quality. But a known issue is that you can't see any equipped cells in that list. So you have to try and like swap out ones in order to see what you actually have. But yeah. So viewers on the stream might be able to see a little bit about this. I put up a shelf with my amiibos, and you can't really see this on stream. But I also put up my Critical Role posters. Actually, let me try and... Yeah, so there we go.
Yeah.
So my Critical Role posters, Vox Machina, and Mighty Nine. So yeah. As well as, my lovely amiibo shelf up here.
Nice.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Looking forward to Tales of Gamora next week.
Yes.
And definitely looking forward to Josh's game this week. So.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I also forgot. I was totally supposed to mention this talking about Gamora. For the website, I have sort of enlisted the services of... God, where's your card? I believe...
Tom Hanks. Can you believe it?
The word block
Yeah.
is, I believe, their business name. The word block, they do copy editing specifically for fantasy settings and that type of stuff. Info was forwarded by a friend of ours, friend of the stream. And totally enlisted services. They're going to take a look at the whole site, and a lot of the articles are going to get better as a result. So I already started work on the deep water article. So a lot of that stuff is relevant for pre-stream events, but it's going to be used as sort of background information for the Tales of Gamora setting in case people want to run their own Tales of Gamora games.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That is going to wrap things up for this week. So if you enjoy our content, please check out 8-bitadventures.com. Over there you can find streams, podcasts, videos, comics, artwork, all that cool stuff. If you want to see more streams in particular, be sure follow this channel, 8-Bit Adventures, right here on Twitch. If you would like to help support this content, please consider becoming a patron on Patreon at patreon.com/8bitadventures. Big shout out and thank you to all of our current patrons. You help make projects like Berkshire Bites possible.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Our opening theme is One Up by Professor Shy Guy. You can find his awesome work over at professorshyguy.bandcamp.com. So, any final thoughts before we head out, folks?
No, I'm just hungry.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
That's what happens when I sleep all day because of the rain.
Yeah. Well then, let's have fun, happy gaming, and enjoy your pie cake.
Bye, everybody.
Do it.